Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your home for your stories from your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. You can find us every single day live on Civic Center TV on your cable television stations, Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99, as well as online on our website, live on civiccentertv.com. Just click on our Watch Live link or watch us by unmuting that small player at the top right of your homepage on civiccentertv.com. We're also on Facebook today on facebook.com/civiccentertv15, as well as on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department. Dave DeBoer from the Fire Department will join us later on in the program, and we welcome you joining us this morning on the West Bloomfield Fire Department's Facebook page. In addition, you can also find us every single day live and on demand on YouTube at Civic Center TV 15. And as you're driving throughout the community this morning, dropping your kids off for the second day of school this year, or maybe it's their first day of school, driving into work this morning, or going out and enjoying the sunshine on 89.3 Lakes FM and on lakesfm.com. Another great morning here, nice sunny and clear morning, but not necessarily going to be the case all throughout the day today, Diane. A little bit of shower activity later on.
That is true, Tyler. So today we're starting off with a very nice sunny weather, as you said, with the highs of 77. But as we go into the evening, temperatures are expected to drop to 53 with chances of rain. Moving on to Wednesday, we're going to have partly cloudy skies, mostly sunny during the daytime, creating a mix of cloud and sun, which eventually leads to a cloudy skies. Temperatures are going to drop slightly to 66, highs and lows of 49. Going into Thursday, it's going to be mostly sunny. It's going back to the warmer side. We're going to experience highs of 73 and lows of 54 degrees. So Thursday, Tyler, I hope it's going to extend onto the weekend, these amazing warmer weathers.
Yeah, looking like it's going to be a very nice week and temperate week too. Not expected to be all too hot or all too humid all throughout the week. So a great opportunity to enjoy those waning days of summer. Just a little bit under a month left until the formal season of summer is done, and only just a few weeks really until this sort of temperature activity is normal, or if not warm, in our local community. So enjoy it while you still can. Making headlines all across the Greater West Bloomfield community on this Tuesday in our community. School is back in session in the Greater West Bloomfield community. We'll take a look at some of the images of the first days of the school year. Back to school health, also an important thing to keep in focus as you return your kids to the classroom. Dayan Chaaban has some tips from local doctors through the Henry Ford Health System on how to keep your child feeling the best during their first week of school and all throughout the school year. Plus, West Bloomfield Township recognized residents who were honored in Oakland County Executive David Coulter's 40 Under 40 through Oakland County at last night's Township Board meeting. We'll tell you who those 4 West Bloomfield residents are coming up. A buzzing success at Bees, Butterflies, and Blooms through West Bloomfield Parks. Diyan Chaaban will give you the details on what went on at that very fun event in our local area. Plus, ArtSail is heading out to the Oakland County Farmers Market. Meet some of our local artists. We'll tell you when that is happening in October and how you can gain access to that event and see all of our local artists in the ArtSail Collective on display at the Oakland County Farmers Market. It's just Tuesday, but we're just 2 days away, that means, from the kickoff of West Bloomfield Lakers football live here on Civic Center TV and on all of our outlets all throughout the community. Our live coverage of Laker football begins on Thursday. We'll give you all the details on the big game happening on the road once again this week. Then the big game happening next week at West Bloomfield High School. But before that, it's going to be Family Fun Night. We'll give you the details on all the fun happening at West Bloomfield High School a week from Friday. Plus, later on this week, Sylvan Lake Game Night returns at the Community Center in Sylvan Lake, and a fan favorite food truck is coming back to the Community Center over the weekend. We'll give you all the details on that. Later on, West Bloomfield Fire Department is offering up to 6 scholarships for those striving to become paramedics. Dave DeBoer, the Deputy Fire Marshal from West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, will join us later on in the program. Dayan Chaaban will speak with him about these paramedic scholarship opportunities. All of that making headlines this morning, plus more news and information all across our program every single day on the Splash Live. We'll take a break. On the other side, more stories from your hometown, all from your community media outlets. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Lakers football season long on 89.3 and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Kieft and Matt Catoni each week for live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, and after the big game. It's the football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield football, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown, all from your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft, alongside Dayan Chaaban. You can join us every single day for your cable subscribers on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99 on Civic Center TV, on our website, civiccentertv.com, as well as on social media, on Facebook and on YouTube. Today, we are on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, as well as joined this morning and all throughout the day on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, and welcome them in to today's broadcast as well. And of course, you can always find us on our YouTube page live and on demand at Civic Center TV. Yesterday, Monday, was the first day of school in the West Bloomfield School District, and a fun day across the entirety of the school district as kids came back into the classroom, including right next door from our building at Chico Elementary School. Here are some pictures from across the school district of students, parents, and faculty, staff returning to the building. Here, this picture you're seeing on the left, that is Liz Bain, the executive assistant to the superintendent, Dr. Danya Bazzi, joined on the first day of school, her second first day of school as the assistant to the superintendent. Others from throughout the school district celebrating the first school, educators and faculty alike celebrating the first day, as well as students in the classrooms. We got a couple of pictures from the West Bloomfield School District's Facebook page from Roosevelt Elementary School, the new Roosevelt location at the former Abbott Middle School building, on their first day of school, as well as students at Scotch Elementary School also enjoying the first day of school. Here they are at Scotch on the stage in their auditorium and lunchroom area. And then we also had students from Roosevelt and across the district all celebrating the first day of school. School underway, reading time and story time and class discussion time back in session in our elementary schools, plus plenty of more learning going on at the middle school and the high school level. And Diane, good to see the kids back in the classroom yesterday and going back into the building yesterday for meetings later on. Got to see some of the kids leaving the classroom, and it seemed that they enjoyed the first day of school.
They do look like they did enjoy the first day of school. And going back to their friends, Tyler, and their amazing teachers at Chico Elementary School and every other school in West Bloomfield, definitely an amazing day for the educators the parents and the kids as well. Tyler, as we go back to school, I must remind there was some recommendations by the Henry Ford doctors and pediatricians for parents as their kids go back to school. So first of all, I know this is some common knowledge, but it is very important that we remind people of all these tips. First of all, keep them hydrated. Make sure that your kids are always hydrated. Avoid adding sugary drinks to their lunch boxes. And also, tell them, make sure that they do not buy any sugary drinks otherwise in school. So this is the most essential tip. Keep your children hydrated and also remind them to drink water throughout the day. Other tips, Tyler, includes healthy snacks. Make sure that you put in some healthy snacks for your kids. Make sure that it's fruits, vegetables, whether it's from your local produce or farmer's market. Keep it interesting for kids. Make sure that they are always snacking on some healthy stuff and eating some healthy breakfast and lunch. Other things we talked about previously in the past few weeks, Tyler, is making sure that their vaccinations are up to date. So make sure that you talk to your pediatrician about what are the most essential vaccinations and immunizations they have to keep a record of, especially as they go back into school. One of them is a lot of doctors talked about this. Make sure that they get their flu vaccinations because flu will be in season shortly, as you know, Tyler, as we go into the winter. Other things is this one is recommended definitely by the CDC, is washing their hands. Make sure that you teach them how to wash their hands. There's a 5-step wash their hands on the cdc.org. So make sure that they rinse, soap, and then wash for 20 seconds. I know you cannot tell kids to wash for 20 seconds and count them. You can ask them to sing happy birthday twice as they wash their hands, and this should be sufficient enough. Other things that parents should look out for is making sure that they do have options for after-hour pediatricians. Make sure that they have their pediatrician's number just in case something happens. And finally, Tyler, I know that school can be very stressful for kids as they go back. It's a very stressful event for some children. So for parents, just make sure that you notice any behavioral changes in your kids and make sure that you address them. Communicate with your kids about how fun it is to go back to school and why is it essential to go back to school. And if you notice that they are anxious or stressed, make sure you address it with your physical provider or pediatrician. So, Tyler, these are great tips from the CDC and Henry Ford pediatricians for all our parents in West Bloomfield and all over Michigan.
Yeah, some great advice, Dayan, from Henry Ford Health System, and of course the advice that would certainly also be seconded by other pediatricians and other medical professionals throughout our communities. Good to have those lines of communication open with the office at each of your schools for your children, knowing who the school nurse is or the a nurse assistant that may be there, volunteer nurses that may be in those schools at any given time, those that you can contact in the office if you have any concerns or if there's any updates that the school needs to know about the medical situation of your child so that they can provide the most up-to-date care that is possible. Getting those vaccines up to date is hugely important, and of course, we've learned a lot over the last few years, especially about the importance of keeping your hands clean, keeping yourself and your items that you bring to the classroom, you take home from the classroom clean. But a great point that you made was having those conversations with your kids about their day-to-day. How are they feeling after day number one? How are they feeling after week number one? Checking in with them, a couple times a week about how they're feeling in school and how that's making them feel outside of school recently. And you can find this on our website on civiccentertv.com on our on-demand page, a discussion on student mental health that we had with Carrie Krawick from the Birmingham Maple Clinic. Dayan had a great discussion with her about that, and keeping up to date with your child's mental health, just as important as keeping up to date with their physical health as they head back to school, and especially now as they are back in school in the West Bloomfield School District. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, celebrating those making accomplishments in the business community. Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter recently naming his Oakland Together 40 under 40 and 1/10, 10% of that 40 under 40 is from right here in West Bloomfield Township. They were recognized by the Township Board at last night's meeting. We'll tell you who those 4 exceptional individuals are and more coming up after this break. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media coming up next on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free help and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
And I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown, all from your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV, on our website on civiccentertv.com, on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, as well as across social media today on the Facebook pages of course, Civic Center TV, and on the Facebook page today also of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com and just search Civic Center TV or West Bloomfield, Greater West Bloomfield, Civic Center TV, and find us live for the Splash Live every single day, as well as on demand for all of our programs and individual segments as well. Monday night was the West Bloomfield Township Board meeting, and of interest at that discussion between the Township Board on many items making news across the West Bloomfield community was Oakland County's 40 under 40, the Oakland Together 40 under 40, named each year by the Oakland County Executive, and David Coulter naming his 2023 40 under 40 recently. That included 1 out of every 10 of those 40 being from right here in West Bloomfield Township. The board last night recognizing 4 individuals making a big splash in the business community in our local area and across Oakland County. Those 4 individuals that were recognized at last night's event were Danielle DePriest, a 32-year-old shareholder at Zosmer PC, Dr. Kat Lewitsky, a 36-year-old owner and clinical director of Bright Pine Behavioral Health, Amber Sherry Williams, a 36-year-old registered dietitian and nutritionist, as well as a health and wellness educator for the Detroit Area Agency on Aging. And then lastly, but certainly not least, Vincent Kirkwood, 36-year-old executive director of Playworks. And if he looks like a familiar face to you, you've probably seen him in his role with the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Committee, and an active member of that committee and former chairperson of West Bloomfield Parks and Rec. We saw him just a little over a week ago at West Bloomfield Parks Connect, also making a big impact in our local community. There was a resolution at last night's meeting recognizing the 40 under 40, as well as some pictures being taken of those individuals. You can always tune in to our replays of these meetings. This was about 10 minutes into that. Each and every day after the meeting has aired, and the day after, we will re-air those meetings at 1 o'clock p.m. They're also available on civiccentertv.com on our on-demand page. That Township Board meeting available right now, and if you scroll through maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, you'll see the full recognition of these individuals, and here's a look at a little bit of the video from last night as their families were on site as they came in to enjoy this honor from the West Bloomfield Township. Here's an official from Dave Coulter's office introducing them to the Township Board and speaking to them at last night's meeting. And of course, you can't have a recognition at the Township Board level without a photo op. And you see on the left side Vincent Kirkwood with Terry Weingarten and Jonathan Warshay from the board, Amber in the middle. And here are the four individuals: Vincent, Dr. Lewitsky, Amber, and then Danielle from left to right on your screen and on CivicCenterTV.com. Recognized last night by the West Bloomfield Township Board. Congratulations to these four individuals making a big impact in our business community. Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter's Oakland Together 40 Under 40 for 2023. Dayan, great accomplishment for these young individuals making an impact and continuing to make an impact in West Bloomfield.
That is true, Tyler. Congratulations to them. That is indeed a very great accomplishment, and we're very proud of them as members of West Bloomfield community. They are showing us the success anybody can have in our community, and it's just an amazing accomplishment. Again, Tyler, another accomplishment that happened at the West Bloomfield Parks, Tyler, is the Bees, Butterflies, and Blooms, which is a festival for pollinators. It happened last Sunday, and it was a great success. Of course, Tyler, it was hosted at Marsh Bank Park. The event drew in large numbers of people, nature enthusiasts, families, community members, and a lot of people who just appreciate those pollinators and what they are doing to our earth. One of the highlights of this event was that they were able to tag and release 50 butterflies. So that's just an amazing scene to watch. Watch them all fly, watch all these pollinators fly, and it wouldn't have happened without all the sponsors that they, of course, thanked on their Facebook page. To name a few, the West Bloomfield Provision Living at West Bloomfield, the Davy Tree Expert, and so many more, Tyler. Another highlight that happened at this event was people were also able to have a conversation with the Bees in the D founder, Brian Peterson, Roast Witches, and other people who talked to all our community members about the importance of these pollinators and why is it essential to protect them. So Tyler, that is indeed a great event. We had Lauren Azori earlier, like 2 months ago, who talked to us more about the importance of monarch butterflies and how they are protecting them. It's a very great accomplishment, not just on the business level, but also on the ecosystem. They're helping our ecosystem. So I think this is magnificent as a nature lover and, of course, as a person who, in general, we need pollinators, right, Tyler? So this is just an amazing event.
Yeah, one of the favorite topics to discuss with West Bloomfield Parks naturalists is pollinators. They love to talk about them. It connects really to every single subject that they cover when they talk about our nature in our local community, and certainly the partnership that they have with Bees in the D and that Bees in the D has with so many different organizations, including businesses in the Detroit area. A lot of their beehives are in actually the city of Detroit, or urban hives on top of large buildings. And they also have some hives here in the West Bloomfield community. Sally Wenzel from the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission, also a nature enthusiast and a bee enthusiast. And former executive director Jennifer Tucker was actually a beekeeper during her time with the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission and with West Bloomfield Parks. So they love their pollinators, but they also love having these fun events at Marshbank Park and throughout the community. You can always keep up to date with our friends at West Bloomfield Parks on their website at wbparks.org. If you missed this event and you can't believe that you missed this, you didn't know this was coming up, their fall guide is also available virtually on their website. Just go to their homepage. You'll have that front and center. You can also go to their events calendar by clicking on events at the top of their page, and looking forward to next month. A lot of Food Truck Tuesdays still coming up, including today over at West Bloomfield Town Hall in between the Recreation Activity Center and the library, and some other fun events coming up for seniors in our community in October, including a concert in early October and Oktoberfest at Connect happening on October 21st. Just some of the many events available through West Bloomfield Parks in the coming weeks and the coming months. More information, of course, as we said, wbparks.org. for all of that from West Bloomfield Parks. Also, you want to mark your calendars as we think about October fun and events throughout our communities. Mark your calendars for Sunday, October 1st, and head over to the Oakland County Farmers Market to enjoy many of our local artists and their works on display at the Farmers Market. ArtSail will be featured from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Oakland County Farmers Market on Sunday, October 1st. That will be located, of course, 2350 Pontiac Lake Road in neighboring Waterford, just outside of the Tri-Cities. You're going to want to get there early to enjoy these works of art. It's all part of their fall fine art and crafts show. 28 outstanding artists on site, including those from ArtSail, many of those artists from ArtSail. And when this was posted in the Soquego community Facebook group online, Embraced by Wire, who is one of the artists from ArtSail, said their last appearance at the farmers market drew more than any other special event there that season. That's what they were told by those at the farmers market. So art lovers, rejoice. You still have plenty of time to enjoy art in our local area and buy art from our local artists in our community. And of course, if you join the ArtSail Facebook group, it's open to anybody, whether you are an artist, an art lover, or just want to learn more about the art community in the greater West Bloomfield area. ArtSail originated out of Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake, but also includes artists from neighboring cities like Waterford, like West Bloomfield, Pontiac, and others, and a collective of artists supporting artists in our community, including this event coming up in October at the Oakland County Farmers Market. Mark your calendars again, Sunday, October 1st, from 9 o'clock a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m., 2350 Pontiac Lake Road in Waterford. And of course, you can find more information on ArtSail by searching ArtSail on Facebook.com, joining their group, or find their events that include all throughout Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake on the city's websites. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, we'll talk about the big game coming up on Thursday between the Lakers and the Birmingham Groves Falcons on the road. Our live coverage will preview Family Fun Night coming up, plus plenty of more news and information. It is your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets. The Splash Live continues after this break.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Ronnie started doing prescription pills at the age of 15, and by 19, he died. If your child is struggling with drug use, try not to be too proud to reach out for help. Don't be worried about what the neighbor will think or your family. Just get your child the help they need. Sometimes it's the hard road to take, but the hard road is nothing compared to living with the fact that your child is no longer with you.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown, from your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft, alongside Dayan Chaaban. Always thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15, and on AT&T Channel 99, as well as on the radio, 89.3 Lakes FM, and online on our website at civiccentertv.com, and on Facebook today with the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, our Facebook partner, as well as on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15. And of course, you can find us on YouTube Live and on demand on our YouTube page. Just search Greater West Bloomfield Civic Center TV, or join us on YouTube at Civic Center TV. for all of our video dating back years and years, including every single episode of the Splash Live for your daily news stories from right here in your hometown. That's what you're getting out of us. You're getting stories directly from your 4 communities, from the greater West Bloomfield community. This is your place to go for the stories right here in your hometown every single day, and from one solid source each and every work day. Coming up on Thursday, a big game for the West Bloomfield Lakers, and the first one we'll have broadcast live for you right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. The Lakers again this season on the road for this game, going to Birmingham to visit Birmingham Groves, also coming in 1-0 after their win last week against North Farmington on Friday. A little less rest for the Falcons, with the Lakers having about 1 week of rest between their Thursday matchup last week against Clinton Township, Chippewa Valley. That exciting finish on a 2-point conversion by Brandon Davis Swain that ended up winning the game for the Lakers 22-21 at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic. Again, going on the road into familiar territory, but a little bit different this time around. A brand new field at Falcon Field at Birmingham Groves will be the first game that the Lakers will play there, and the second consecutive home game for the Groves Falcons coming up this week, Thursday. The kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Our coverage of West Bloomfield Laker football will begin at about 6 o'clock with This Week in Laker Football. And keep your eye on our website tonight at civiccentertv.com, as well as on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV, because today we are going to have our first episode of This Week in Laker Football. I'll be talking with head coach Zach Hilbers and a couple of players this afternoon about the first game against Clinton Township, Chippewa Valley, about their upcoming game against Birmingham Groves, and get a little more insight into their thoughts on this season as the Lakers are looking like another season of potential championship contention, both in the OAA Red Division as well as in Division I in the MHSAA. Again, This Week in Laker Football, 6 o'clock on Friday before our pregame show. Matt Catoni and I will give you analysis and preview the game beginning at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And again, it is a Thursday game this week. That usually happens on the week leading into Labor Day weekend. They have a game on Thursday. A lot of these schools are off on Friday before the Labor Day weekend or have other family plans. That often is why these schools will schedule a Thursday game. So for the Lakers, kicking off the first 2 games of the season, it's Thursday night lights instead of Friday night under the lights on the football field. But again, 7 o'clock kickoff at the newly renovated Falcon Field in Birmingham. That's where you can go to watch the game in person. But hey, why not watch from the confines of your home and enjoy the game like you watch your favorite college football team? And for me, I think that's pretty obvious, the Michigan State Spartans. Or your favorite NFL team, I would hope that's the Lions, but won't judge you otherwise unless it's the Falcons, the Bears. Sorry, not the Falcons, unless it's the Bears, the Packers, or the Vikings. But you can always watch West Bloomfield football online, civiccentertv.com. On our Facebook page, we'll also be on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield School District, and of course on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV as well. And this is a good game to watch. Birmingham Groves coming in with a lot of college talent, including a familiar name. Their wide receiver, Zach Rogers, is the son of the late Charles Rogers and is just as prolific as his dad on the football field, both playing wide receiver and defensive back. Avery Gackett, an excellent offensive lineman for Birmingham Groves, and they also have a 3-year starting quarterback coming into the game as well, just as the Lakers do in Raquez Nance. So a really interesting matchup between the OAA Red Division West Bloomfield Lakers and the OAA White Division Birmingham Groves Falcons happening on Thursday. If the Lakers are to win that game, they'll be undefeated going into OAA Red Division play, and if defeated by Birmingham Groves, Groves will take the driver's seat in the OAA White Division, where they are going up against the likes of Southfield A&T, who the Lakers will see later on this season, as well as their crosstown rivals, Birmingham Seaholm. Seaholm currently undefeated. Southfield A&T also coming into that game with solid expectations for the 2023 season, and had a tough matchup last weekend, also at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic, where they took on Cass Tech. I don't know why I blanked on that. They took on Detroit Cass Tech, but they ended up winning that game. They ended up winning that game by 2 points. So if Birmingham Groves is to beat the Lakers, potentially a 3-way tie between powerhouse teams at the top of that division. They're also going up. They have a tough matchup this week against Clarkston coming up as well. So a lot of action on the OAA Red this week and the OAA White across the board. And of course, the Lakers kicking off against Birmingham Groves Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins at 6 on Civic Center TV. And mark your calendars for next week. Finally, Friday night high school football under the lights, and one of the few home games we'll have at West Bloomfield High School this season. It's also family fun night at West Bloomfield High School before the game, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. The 12th annual West Bloomfield School District's Family Fun Night, happening with free fun activities, including touch a truck, bounce houses, dunk tanks, a lot of games also on site, and you can meet community organizations, get to know our businesses, get to know our first responders and our military as well. And then, of course, the big game is at 7 o'clock kickoff at West Bloomfield High School. You can get into the game for free by wearing your West Bloomfield School District spirit wear. Students will get into the game for free by just wearing, their school shirt or a West Bloomfield School District shirt, showing their spirit and showing up to this game to support our local community. Family Fun Night, again, 5 to 7 o'clock next week, Friday, at West Bloomfield High School in Dayan. Always a fun event for people to come out and enjoy the fall season, a nice welcome back to the school year, but also a really great opportunity for people to get to know many of our local nonprofit organizations and community organizations, as well as those that are keeping us safe every single day in our public safety divisions, as well as in our military.
That is true, Tyler. Very interesting event for the whole family, I guess. And it's a very great way to come back to school for both parents and students. And it's definitely going to be an incredible event. As you said, Tyler, they'll get to meet all our community members and everybody causing a change and causing a positive change in our community. So it is indeed a great way to come back to school event. And I hope that everybody can make it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun night. Again, that's next week, Friday, before the football game, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock at West Bloomfield High School. You can learn more information about Family Fun Night on the West Bloomfield School District's website at wbsd.org. And, of course, if you can't make it out to the event, we'll have some coverage from that night, as well as part of our West Bloomfield Laker football coverage that will begin about 6 o'clock on Friday next week at Family Fun Night on Civic Center TV. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty of more fun, including family fun in Sylvan Lake in the coming days, as well as over the weekend. Plus, we'll talk to the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department later on about scholarship opportunities if you're considering a career as a paramedic and firefighter in our community or others. Stay tuned. More of your stories from your hometown, from your community media outlets, coming up after this break on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Pure is what you make of it. It's how the hustle of the cities can change the course of history. It's the beauty of the things we create on a canvas, on a plate, or stretched high above the sidewalk. It's a patch of green or a stretch of blue, right in the heart of downtown. It's the buzz of it all, or if you prefer, it's tuning it all out. Clear your schedule and pursue your Pure in Pure, Michigan.
Watch West Bloomfield Lakers football all season long on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Kieft and Matt Catoni each week for live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, and after the big game. It's your local high school football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield Laker football, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiver.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It is your stories from your community television, radio, and other media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. You can always join us on Civic Center TV on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99 on the radio as you're driving throughout the community all throughout the day on 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com. And of course, find us on Facebook on facebook.com/Civic Center TV 15. And we're also joined today by our friends at the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, and thank them for joining us. Dave DeBoer will be with us in just a few minutes. Fun happening all across the community, including in the prettiest little city in Michigan, in the Tri-Cities, Sylvan Lake game night returning this week at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. That's happening Wednesday night from 6 o'clock onward at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. Yoga, euchre, mahjong, and other games inside the community center on Wednesday night. And then on top of that, we'll have pickleball outside as well. Game night at 6 o'clock. Yoga inside at 6:30. You can play pickleball on the tennis courts from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And this is open for both residents and their friends and their neighbors, anybody they'd like to bring along with them. Plenty of fun to be had at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. A really nice night, both inside and outside. It's going to be a beautiful night in Sylvan Lake to enjoy some time on the lake. Even if you just go out there, talk with some people for a little while, sit outside by Sylvan Lake and enjoying their final few weeks of boating over the summer in the prettiest little city in Michigan. Plenty of fun to be had. Again, that's Wednesday night beginning at 6 o'clock at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. You can find more information, including upcoming game nights, if you're not able to attend this week, on sylvanlake.org. Then over the weekend, a favorite food truck is coming back. Sylvan Lake's been bringing in food trucks to the community center all throughout the summer, and a couple of fan favorites returning for some breakfast fun on Sunday, September 3rd over Labor Day weekend, 9:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. They will be joined by Batter Up Waffles and Rise and Grind Coffee, both coming back after popular demand from throughout Sylvan Lake all throughout the summer, wanting these two food trucks to come back for weeks and months now. And of course, Sylvan Lake Parks and Recreation and the team at the city of Sylvan Lake bringing these two fan favorites back to the community center. If you're interested in showing up there, enjoying the community center, seeing what Sylvan Lake's all about, you can also join them there at the community center. That's 2456 Pontiac Drive in Sylvan Lake. A great way to begin the second of your 3 days of the Labor Day weekend in the prettiest little city in Michigan. Back by popular demand. On the right side, you see Batter Up Waffles and their orange truck, and on the left side, a friendly face from Rise and Grind Coffee. A great opportunity to have breakfast with some of your neighbors, or even meet some people in Sylvan Lake and travel on throughout our community and enjoy a fun morning with great food as well. If you're looking for more opportunities to enjoy some great food and great company and support even a great cause in our community, you're going to want to mark your calendars for September 9th at the E.L. Johnson Nature Center in Bloomfield Hills. That is, of course, a service of the Bloomfield Hills School District, and they are holding one of their annual fundraisers on that date, September 9th, from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. at the E.L. Johnson Nature Center. That is a week from Saturday. Mark your calendars. 5:30 to 8:30, but for VIPs, it begins at 4:30 with a VIP reception. It's going to feature some familiar faces from inside our four communities propers. Chef Chris Gadulka from Sylvan Table Restaurant will be one of the featured chefs once again at this year's event. Crafted last year's menu, and this year we'll be partnering with Alchemy owner and executive chef Johnny Prepelek for a 6-course meal. They're working on it day in and day out to put together 6 courses for this event. The money collected will support the E.L. Johnson Nature Center's efforts going forward, including year-to-year efforts that take effort all throughout the calendar year, including invasive species remediation, restoring habitats for the animal life and the plant life on site throughout the Nature Center, improving native plant life, land conservation, as well as changing and improving signage on site to make a better experience for those that are visiting, and of course to protect the plant and animal life that is present at the Nature Center. The tickets are currently on sale, but they are in high demand and they are limited at this time, as we're just a little bit over a week out from this event. If you'd like to purchase a ticket in support of the E.L. Johnson Nature Center, you can get your tickets for $200 for general admission, or VIP tickets, which includes that VIP reception at 4:30 before the event begins at 5:30, by going to johnsonnaturecenter.org/forest to table. And I'm not sure, Calvin, if you can tell me in my ear. Okay, there it is on the screen. We have a QR code. Scan this QR code that's on your screen. It will take you directly to the page which has all the information that you need on the Friends of the E.L. Johnson Nature Center, and that is a 501c3 nonprofit that is organizing this event, as well as information on Chef Chris from the Sylvan Table, as well as Chef Johnny Prepelek from Alchemy, as well as how you can get your tickets online for the September 9th event, all in support of a great local nature center in the that is a service of the Bloomfield Hills School District. Our local school children in Bloomfield Hills, they go to this nature center for field trips and for science opportunities all throughout the year, and it's open to the public day in and day out as well. So a great place to go for recreation, to enjoy nature, to see some amazing animal and plant life in the community. And Diane, a great way for people to support the E.L. Johnson Nature Center and support nature conservation in our community.
Of course, Tyler. I'm always I'm always definitely encouraging these type of events. As a nature enthusiast and as a previous animal rescuer, these are such amazing events to educate people and our future generations on how to take care of our planet in general and our environment and ecosystem, because we are at this point where if we truly do not take care of it, we are just going downhill. So this is just an amazing event to just learn about what we can do to help, what are some animals that we need to as maintain and you know, encourage, and it's just overall an incredible event. I hope that people do be there and educate their kids. All these amazing events truly do encourage our ecosystem, Tyler.
Yeah, and of course, you can find more information again on this event by going to johnsonnaturecenter.org. That is the website for the E.L. Johnson Nature Center. You can learn more information, too, about the Friends of the Johnson Nature Center through the Bloomfield Hills School District on that website, too. And it's a great opportunity to support an organization, to support a local nature center that is providing opportunities for children in our school districts, in our local area, the Bloomfield Hills School District, also featuring many students in the West Bloomfield community and in the greater West Bloomfield community as well. We have a great partnership with them too that permits students and families and individuals to enjoy nature and learn more about nature in our community each and every day. And so this is a great opportunity to support that. And as someone that grew up in the Bloomfield Hills School District and had made many trips to the E.L. Johnson Nature Center on field trips and for science learning opportunities, it is a great place. If you haven't been there before, highly suggest that you give them a visit at the very least at the E.L. Johnson Nature Center. That's on Franklin Road in Bloomfield Hills. If you just turn left on Franklin Road right as you are passing by Bloomfield Hills High School, that will take you to the E.L. Johnson Nature Center on the right side of the road. The address 3325 Franklin Road in Bloomfield Hills. And of course, you can always call them for more information, 248-341-6845, 248-341-6485 for more information on the E.L. Johnson Nature Center. What I always remember from there is the owls. They have a couple of owls over there, and I'm not sure if they still do. I haven't been there in quite a while, but I always remember the owls. I remember the deer exhibit as well, and such great natural walkways too that they have devised there. They have a log cabin that they kind of simulate what people in the U.S. how people in the U.S. used to live as they were settling in these local areas, including in our communities, showing some of the examples of cabin life on the water in Bloomfield Hills. It's a great place, and if you have the means to do so, you want to support them, this is a great event to do so at September 9th, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the E.L. Johnson Nature Center. We will take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty of more news and information from throughout your community is coming up. It's your home for your stories from your community media outlets. Stay tuned. More coming up on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It is your home for your stories from your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft, alongside Dayan Chaaban. Having some technical issues today with Dave DeBoer from the West Bloomfield Fire Department. We will work with him to reschedule him to talk about those scholarship opportunities. Those are still available in West Bloomfield Township through the West Bloomfield Fire Department. 6 scholarships are available across communities in our local area. You can find more information and apply on wbtownship.org. That will have a news story on the bottom of their homepage, right above their calendar, that will give plenty of more information, not just available to Oakland County residents, but those in neighboring counties like Macomb and Livingston and Wayne County and Washtenaw and others as well. 6 opportunities, a little over $4,000 in scholarships are available through those paramedic scholarships. It's got to be somebody that is interested in going into a career as a paramedic and firefighter. They have to have a few other requirements. They have to have CPR certification and be a Michigan board certified EMT in order to apply. There's other requirements, and all of that is listed in the application information on wbtownship.org, and we will do our best to get Dave or another member of the fire department on the show very soon to discuss that. In the meantime, we are back to school. It's important as you continue to bring your kids back to school, or in other school districts like we talked about the Bloomfield Hills School District. They're going back to school next week, Monday. Important to keep up to date on your safety tips for your kids of all ages, whether they're going to elementary school and maybe they're taking the bus for the first time. It's their first day of school, was yesterday or is coming up on Monday. That's always, of course, important to go over tips for safety, going to the bus stop, at the bus stop, on the bus, on the way home from school, while you're in the classroom, and so on. But same goes for those kids that have been in elementary school for a few years, are in middle school now, maybe a little more independent, are in high school, and maybe perhaps are taking themselves to school for the very first time. We had James Pettinato, an officer, a crime prevention officer with the West Bloomfield Police Department, on our show last week. You can find that interview on CivicCenterTV.com on our on-demand page, and also on the West Bloomfield Police Department's Facebook at facebook.com/West Bloomfield PD. They had a post with some tips from the National Safety Council for those that are walking to school, biking to school, bus riders, as well as teenage drivers. And among the common themes in here was making eye contact with drivers as you're out on the road. Make sure you see them, they see you, you recognize each other and who has the right of way at any given time. Preventing distractions, whether you are biking or you're walking or you're driving to school, or even if you're just driving in a school zone or near where kids may be frequenting before or after the school day. Avoiding distractions helps you avoid accidents and avoid tragedies that can happen in these accidents as kids are going to and from school. And for teenage drivers, parents suggested to make a plan, practice safe driving with your kids, set an example for them when they're in the car with you. Hey, look, you may be a little more relaxed on certain things, like having your hands at 9 and 3 and keeping focused on the road and maybe not getting distracted yourself when you are driving alone. You may be a little more relaxed on that, but when your kids are in the car with you, especially those teenage drivers, they're learning to drive, they're driving to school for the first time, really important that you set those examples for them and help set boundaries as well. The National Safety Council in this post from the West Bloomfield Police Department saying it may not be a bad idea to set up a list of promises and make a written agreement with your kid. Hey, when I'm in the car, when I'm driving to school, when I'm driving to work, when I'm driving to hang out with friends, this is how I'm going to behave myself in the car. This is how I'm going to drive. This is the boundaries that I'm going to set for my friends and others that I may be in the car with, to make sure everybody is safe. And if I violate these, you may take away my right to drive, and I may have to take the bus or walk or bike to school instead. All good ideas. And Dayan, what's most important about all this is having a discussion with your kids about safety, both before you go to school, as you're on your way to school, as you're at school, and of course on your round trip back to home.
That is true, Tyler. Another good advice I would say for parents of younger children is to try and to be there with them at least in the first week. Try and set an example of how they should act as they go into the bus, where they should stop, how they should cross the road, and what is considered distracted walking, Tyler, not just distracted driving. So what is considered distracted walking? It could be, even for children, it could be just like they're grabbing something, they're busy carrying their bag. Make sure that you set an example for your children at least the first week of school. Make sure that again, we talked a little bit about all the other tips. Make sure that I don't know if that helps, but their bags should not be that heavy. They shouldn't be worrying about boggling their bag. It's a health tip, and it's also something that they shouldn't be distracted with as they go into the school bus or as they stop. These are all safety tips for their physical health and for them to get to school and get back home safely to their parents.
Yeah, distracted walking is a real thing. It is dangerous, and I have to admit, I did a little bit of distracted walking between Green Media Center and West Bloomfield Town Hall last evening as we were getting ready for a meeting. I was, kicking a crab apple down the sidewalk, and I didn't notice until right about as I was walking up on it, there was a few little limbs that were in the sidewalk, almost tripped over them. So, I've myself violated not distracted walking. For kids, for parents, definitely something that to be in consideration, to keep a focus on. Don't be a violator like me while we're talking about this. Officer Pettinato, go ahead, cuff me. I'm guilty. I did it. I'm admitting it on the air. But for parents, really important you have these conversations, because this could potentially bring a big hazard. And Diana, a great point on those distractions aren't always our devices. It could be something like noticing something in the road, kicking something down the road, or playing with a branch or something and running out in between the streets. These things happen. Kids are going to play. Kids are looking for fun, and you need to keep attention on your kids as they're in the road. Before we let you go today, and we'll continue on with plenty of more news all throughout the week, an opportunity 1 week from today at 7 o'clock at ACS in West Bloomfield. It is your last opportunity to provide feedback on the 10-year strategic plan with the West Bloomfield School District. This is an entirely in-person meeting a week from tonight at 7 o'clock with translators available for Spanish, Arabic, and Japanese speakers. That's going to be at ACS on Pontiac Trail and Commerce in West Bloomfield, and you can find more information on that event on WBSD.org. Your last opportunity to provide feedback to the West Bloomfield School District's Strategic Visioning Committee and the school board. That QR code will take you to a post on your screen, that QR code to a post from their Facebook page about these events. There are no longer any virtual options. It's all in person from here. Plenty more news and information, your stories from your hometown, from your community outlets all throughout the week. Stay with us right here on The Splash Live.